Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 79 of the Top 5 PvP Battles. If you guys want to send in your own clips for the Top 5, you can send them to KristoferESO at hotmail.com. And starting us off today, we have got ZosNeedsHelp on the Magicka Warden, throwing down some huge AoE as the yellow players chase him inside the keep there, finishing off almost every single one of them. One player escaping, and Zos is going to jump right on top of him and finish him off as well. This player here trying to go for the res. He manages to get the res off there. I believe it was an enemy Templar. And Zos is just going to quickly put the pressure into the player that got res, putting a lot of AoE down, and the enemy player is trying to roll out of it. He's not going to be able to mitigate the damage like that, catching this player in the roll as well with that full AoE kit. And now there is one opponent left for him to fight, and this enemy Sorc is streaking through him here, making himself hard to hit with the Deep Fissure attack. But Zos is just keeping the pressure, staying right on top of him, and keeping the AoEs down. The enemy Sorc pounding the shields there, but not running enough healing power at all to deal with the pressure, and down he goes. Now, for our next fight, we have got animation canceling, playing a 100k hit point Necromancer tank. And just look at the damage he does when he jumps into that group, dropping quite a few players on the stack. It looks like almost 5 players, and his friendly players jumping in now. Now, Annie has actually got the Harbinger set on, which is going to return 6% of his max health to the attacker as physical damage. So having his hit points as high as he does, all he's doing is baiting these big groups into attacking him, and they put so much damage into themselves. And here's a second clip of this build, just because the first one was so quick, and Annie's got a lot of red players jumping on top of him here. He's just keeping his block up, waiting for his opportunity to turn and burn, and now they jump on top right after he gets stunned, and he goes into his ultimate, holds his block, and keeps his heals up while throwing the scythe down as well, and a whole bunch of players going down in the stack there. And now comes the friendly player to help Annie out. This is a really strong build, I think, for small group, even large group gameplay. But yeah, it just allows you to have such a unique tank role, just returning pretty much all the damage the opponents are doing back to them. Look at that player going for the heavy attack, hurting himself off his own attack there. And Annie's just trying to keep himself in between the opponents and his friendly player here, just kind of baiting the hits from them. And there you see the enemy player throwing the dizzy swings down on Annie here. And wow, what an incredible build. Check out Annie's channel if you guys want to see some more of this guy in action. Now, moving on to our next clip, we have got zDan bringing us some Stamina Nightblade, and he is playing a medium armor, no cloak Stamblade, and zDan right away putting the hurt on this guy here, the ultimate into the surprise attack, really clean cancel on the roll, and he hits that guy for huge damage, bringing him down, going for the combo on the player, attempting the res there, and zDan just doing a great job with his footwork, moving in between these guys, forcing the turnaround as they go through the doorway, and just buying himself some time to try to put the offensive pressure there. He gets some good damage on that player, unfortunately taking a lot of pressure from the other blue players, and zDan's forced to do a bit of kiting here, just trying to look again for a target, picking a nice stun up on this guy, goes for the Spectral Arrow. Unfortunately, the enemy player dodging that attack, and zDan picks up a huge crit and a stun on that player as he comes around the corner, finishing him off. He's going to reset his shade here, just do a bit of a brawl in the middle here, and notice how he's constantly cycling the Vigor into his Nightblade heal to just make sure he's got his hit points coming back as he turns to go aggressive here, right away going for the heals into his ultimate as they come around the corner, unfortunately not connecting a good combo on anyone there. And zDan's just going to reset, go around the corner again, try to open on them, continuing to keep his heals going. These enemy players putting a lot of pressure out, and zDan managing to get a good escape with the shade placement, teleporting back into safety. And now he's just being patient. Look at the sustain he has on this build too. zDan is going to be able to keep this fight up for quite some time. And he right away goes for pressure on the first Sorc that comes up the staircase. More players start to pile around here. zDan tries to go for the execute there. Getting the connection, I believe, but not enough to finish the Sorc off, and a lot of pressure from the rest of the enemy players. But zDan does a great job picking the target from the group there, connecting with a nasty Spectral Arrow shot off that stun, finishing that enemy Sorc off, and it looks like he was the primary healer for this group. And zDan's taken quite a bit of pressure, really good movement. Again, he's just moving in between them, forcing the turnarounds from these guys, connects a really nasty combo on that Templar while he's jabbing. And I think he just burned that guy faster than that guy expected that to happen. And zDan right away going for pressure on top of the enemy werewolf. He's got just him and the Warden left. The enemy werewolf taking a nasty stun there, and this guy is in kite mode. He's trying to get to safety and heal up. And look at the damage zDan has on this build, just right away, putting the pressure in, punishing this guy. And it looks like the last guy is trying to run away. No, you don't. zDan's going to run through the resource here and just chase this guy down. One guy just jumps off his horse to get in the fight there. zDan's just going to get on top of this guy here that's trying to ride away, just hits him with some poison injections. And sprinting right on top of him, the enemy player going into block. zDan, of course, just keeping his heels up and just sprinting away from the enemy Templar there. That Templar behind him is running a predominantly melee build with no gap closer. And if zDan does the kite, he's going to be able to mitigate that damage very well. And he just keeps pressuring this Warden, continuing to rotate his attacks. Goes for the ultimate there. He's got the Defile down now. He's going to go for the surprise attack as well. Unfortunately, not connecting a stun. There we see the stun finally come through. He's going to go for the Executioner to finish off the enemy Warden. And now it's time to turn around. A nasty stun on the Templar into the Execute. And he takes it home. Now for our next fight, we have got Bukco on the Stamina Sorcerer. And he's just fencing in IC here with a blue player, and he sees a lot of blue players coming into the fight as well. The enemy player goes for his ultimate there. Bukco just sticking out the Executioner, negating the ultimate damage just by killing the player. Now he's just going to wait behind this pillar here as the blue players start charging in on him. A Nightblade comes from behind, a lot of damage there. Bukco responding really well with the roll into his Vigor, healing up right away. The Surge healing coming in real handy there too. And now the blues start coming up the staircase. Bukco drops a huge Dawnbreaker on these guys. An Executioner crit to finish that first player off. Connects the Executioner on the next player as well. And that's 2 blues down. And Bucco's fighting at the top of the staircase here. It looks like they rezzed the guy at the bottom right away. And Orky just respawned. There's a lot of blue in this fight. Bukco drops another huge Dawnbreaker there. Going for the Executioners, brings another player down. And he's taking a lot of stuns from these guys, a lot of pressure too, but look at the healing power that Bukco is getting from his Vigor and his Surge here. And Bukco goes for the streak, trying to stun that player. Unfortunately, the terrain's not letting him connect there. And Bucco's taking a lot of pressure, a lot of AoEs coming down too, and he sees this guy going for the res, just a little too slow to get to him. But we got the Dawnbreaker ready, and Bukco connects with a nice Executioner off that roll, taking a lot of pressure from these guys as he comes up the staircase, going for that Dark Deal, just trying his best to reset a little bit here, putting some hurt into that enemy Zoo there. So many Mag Storks attacking him here. Bukco is going to have just a real tough time targeting the targets he wants to hit well, and there you see another huge Dawnbreaker into the Executioners. Another blue player goes down, and here comes the Atronach from the blue as well. Bukco, I think, is going to try his best to stick this out a little bit, taking a little bit too much pressure from these guys. He heads back up to the top of the staircase, goes for the Dark Deals, trying to get his stamina back. More Dawnbreaker pressure on this staircase. Unfortunately, unable to put enough damage into them to go for the Execute kill there, and Bukco kites back down to the bottom. Going for that Dark Deal again. He's doing his best to just kite these guys out. He doesn't have a super durable build, but he's got quite a bit of healing power, so he can mitigate the damage well. He can continue to tank these guys out and put big pressure into them when his ulti is ready. And these blue players, man, they want him dead. Bucco's just kiting around the staircase here. He's got the next big Dawnbreaker ready. I think he wants to get some good placement on this. Back up to the top of the stairs. Here we go, right behind these two blue players. Big damage on that guy. The Executioner coming down to finish the first one off. Goes for the D-swing, trying to connect with some combo on the other player there, but that enemy ends up blocking that combo, and Bukco is unable to stick the kill out. He's having a tough time just keeping these bodies down. There's a lot of pressure from the blue, and he has to do his best to just kind of kite out the pressure and then go for the combos when he can. There we see, gets a good off balance into the stun off the Dawnbreaker there. The Executioner bringing down the bulkier blue player. And Bukco also has this guy very close to dead, connects the Executioner, rolling away again. And now they're throwing a lot of damage down on him. Bukco's just trying to keep the damage down. Look at how much healing he has coming in from that Surge. Almost 2k Surge healing. Over 2k, I think, when it crits. And Bukco just keeping the pressure on top of these guys. Sticking it out into pretty dangerous water here. He's running a little lower on stamina, but he manages to get the Dark Deals down. Goes for the kite through the group, streaking through them. And Bukco is just trying his best to survive against these guys, but he doesn't want to exit this room. He's just sticking out the room. He doesn't need to leave it. He's going for good pressure on this guy here, going for the Executioners, and the blue players a little bit in disarray here. It looks like a few of them have even run away from the fight. It's just 3 players left on top of him here. And Bukco looks like he has a chance to clean the rest of these guys up. A huge Dawnbreaker there, the D-Swing, the Executioner, just 2 blue players left. And he's going to go for the pressure on the lower hit point player, getting him with the Execute as well. And now he's got just a single opponent left here. And Bucco's just about to finish him off. And look at this, a train of blue players from the top. Super unfortunate, but he would have won that fight great nonetheless. And finally, for our last clip, we have got Pelican ESO bringing us an incredible fight on his Stamina Nightblade. And you can see he's an IC as well, taking nasty pressure from these blue players. Goes for the Shade just as the enemy Templar went for his Gap Closer, so that's why the Templar stuck on top of him, even though he went for the Shade there. But Pelican does manage to get the safe reset here. Goes for a big combo there with the Spectral Arrow, but right away the blue player's jumping on top of him. Pelican's just going to do his best to kite it out, get back behind the pillar here, and shade out to safety, setting down the new Shade right back into stealth. He opens with a huge combo on that player there, connecting a nasty crit into the Executioner. Pelican just resets here again with his heals and his Shade. Shades back to the body, actually. Gets the interrupt on the res. And Pelican's just going to continue to throw down the kite with the Shade here. The blue player's having a heck of a time trying to stay on top of him. He goes back inside the cage here. He's got that new Shade ready, and the blue players don't follow him. They're getting a little bit wise to his tricks here, so they're not going to follow him into such a tight spot, knowing that he can teleport out. Look at that, a big ultimate into the Spectral Arrow. Nasty damage on that guy, and he goes down. Pelican again hiding inside the cage. The blue player's poised to engage, and this time he just jumps right outside, puts the pressure down, and he's just going to Shade back and reset it, just running a little low on the Shade timer there. Now he's going to jump back on top of the blue players, just trying to keep... He couldn't keep that body down, unfortunately, but he's going to keep the pressure up, trying to get a combo off on this guy here, but a lot of pressure from these blue. Pelican just doing a ton of roll canceling here to not take damage, and then connects a huge combo on the player off to the side there, shades back to the other side of the group, and he goes right back into stealth. There's the ultimate out of stealth. He tries to jump on top of this guy to keep the combo going. Unfortunately, oh, there's a beautiful connection there, and Pelican with beautiful dodge rolls as well. He doesn't get hit by those attacks as he just cleans that up, and he manages to make the block on that meteor as well. And there we see another huge combo out of stealth, the Executioner. Another blue player goes down, and Pelican is really starting to put the work into this blue group here. Actually pushing them out of the terrain that he's been fighting in, and now they're just kind of in dismay as some yellow players are coming in as well. Pelican just picking off the blue players one at a time. This guy's trying to run away. It looks like 5 blue players left in the open here. Pelican just goes for the huge combo out of stealth, the surprise attack into the Spectral Arrow. Nasty gank to bring that guy down. And there we see some great roll gameplay. The partial charged heavy to get the stun on that player, then going for the Executioner, just clean stuff. And Pelican managing to get in stealth right as the yellow group engages with the remaining blue, and goes for the gank on the yellow player right away. Good damage on him, unfortunately unable to stick the combo out. A lot of pressure from the rest of the yellow players. Pelican's just kiting it out here. He does not have the shade down, but he did manage to get in stealth. These yellow players putting a lot of pressure on him with the curses too. There we see he did get his shade and drops down a level, so he has height if he needs it here. Huge combo on that enemy Sork there. Nice stuff. Brings him down with the last surprise attack after the roll there. Teleports back up to the top. And Pelican wants to go for pressure on top of these yellow up here. Gets a good stun there. Unfortunately, counter-stunned by the other Sork streak. And just dodging the gank from the enemy Nightblade there as well. He tries to retaliate with his own combo, but the Nightblade stealths just in time. Pelican drops his shade. Back to the bottom, teleports back up to the top, and look, the yellow players are looking the wrong way. This is exactly what Pelican wants to see. Engages with the back end of them, again resetting with his shade, so he still has the upper hand here, and the enemy Sork catching him with a lucky streak there. Pelican's just going to kite back behind his shade here. Huge combo on that yellow player, connecting with the Spectral Arrow as well. Pelican manages to pick up a beautiful kill on that guy. Kiting back to the pillar here, just resetting his shade as well, gets the bash before this guy can get the res off too. And the enemy Sword Curse goes off, Pelican drops to the bottom, shades back up to the top, and he does not get the bash, but puts huge damage into that enemy player and punishes him for trying to, well, successfully getting that res off with his own life. And And now Pelican is just keeping the pressure down, man. He's got a lot of yellow players trying to kill him, and they are constantly picking up their dead. This guy here has not been picked up yet. He seemed to be the more kind of heal-focused one in the group. And there we go, a gank on this guy out of stealth. There's the light attack, the Executioner. Beautiful stuff. Looks like 3 yellow players left. Pelican just trying to keep the pressure down, just dodging the streak there by getting out of the way of it. And then he shades back up to the top, gets the bash off on the res here into the Spectral Arrow, connecting a beautiful combo on that guy. And that was just a really great shade. Again, Pelican's movement here is the key to success in this fight. A huge combo on this guy there, the Executioner. Pelican rocking some crazy damage on this build as well. This guy's going to attempt the res. It's just 2 players left here. Pelican gets the bash off, goes for the surprise attacks, the Executioner to finish that last one. And the last enemy Nightblade here, just waiting in stealth. Pelican sees his weapon. This is normally where the fight would end, but look, he goes for the gank. Pelican just hitting the stealth detect as the enemy Nightblade is swinging the Wrecking Blow. He gets the block on it, and look at this, the enemy Nightblade unable to escape. Is he going to be able to? Oh man, Pelican just keeps popping him with stealth here. The enemy Nightblade's got to be super low on stamina after all those rolls. And he attempted to go for a bit of counter pressure there, but Pelican just keeping the hammer on this guy. Pops him again with the stealth. Oh man, this guy, if he wanted to get away, I think had to go for a bit more of a direction change. And there we see, he actually manages to, no, he goes again. Too aggressive, pays the price, and the enemy sniper runs off. Great fight. And for the bonus clip today, we have actually got just pretty much a 6th clip for the video, brought to us by Yuri Complex on this Stamina Warden. And he's just putting pressure into this yellow group here that's trying to kill Molig Ball. And normally you would wait until Molig Ball has exploded and hurt a bunch of the players, but Yuri, he's not feeling like he wants to wait here. He's gonna go right away on top of these yellow players. Goes for his big AoE pulse heal as well. That's gonna hopefully get the stun on this guy. Nope, he just gets out of it in time. But Yuri's got the Dawnbreaker ready. A huge Dawnbreaker splash on the yellow players there, bringing one of them down. The second player dying to the dot there. And, well, yellow is not a big fan of what Yuri just did. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of this fight as we say our goodbyes. As always, a huge thank you and shout out to every single player who sent in those clips for the top 5. Be sure to check out all of these fine content creators down in the description below. If you guys want to send in your own clips as well, you can send them to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. Check me out on Twitter if you guys want to keep up to date with my shenanigans. You can check out my Twitch if you guys want to catch some live gameplay, or if you guys just want to come chat and hang out. Check out my website, KristoferESO.com, for written guides to my builds, as well as a hub for all of the ESO content. We're sponsored by What the Fast, a VPN for gamers. They can give you better ping to your favorite games, free to try for the first month. Link down below for you guys. As always, thank you to my patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. Have a great night, everyone. I'll see you next time.